Hi, I'm Barry. We've been out to our local DIY centre and we've bought this softwood fireplace. But for an advanced decorative technique, we're going to change this into a piece of white Carrara marble. Okay, so the first thing we're going to put on is obviously our primer. There's no knots in it, or these extra bits of timber we've put on, we've knotted those up, so we can go straight on with the primer. Okay, so don't mess around with this, let's just get the paint on it. Okay, so this particular detail underneath here, okay, these are quite tricky to paint. Okay, so don't mess around. Okay, now marble obviously doesn't contain any brush marks. Okay, so this is why we're using the Pro Finish for this one, to give that outstanding finish. So I'm just going to dab these into there. Let's get into them. Now these will probably run. Okay, you can see them coming there now. Okay, but if you was to just like sit there trying to get sort of into them, you'll be there for ages with it. Just get them in. And as long as you come back to them, wipe the runs off, you'll be fine. So there's quite a lot of paint that's built up in there. See it's starting to run? Just leave it for a minute. I haven't rubbed it down. It's very, very smooth anyway. Okay, but once you've got this primer on it, we will need to rub it down afterwards because that will raise the grain. Okay, or in other words, it'll just make it, it'll go rough. Right, we'll come back to that after about 5 minutes time. Now, this section here, let's do the surround first, and then we'll fill in this in the flat. Okay, so you can brush it on any way you want. And the important part of it is to lay it off. Now the grain of this timber goes across that way, and again the grain of the timber goes that way. So that's the way that we lay it off. Okay, so now the paint's on. Right, take the excess out the brush. And we're doing very, very gently, we're just going to lay it off just with the tips of the bristles, with the filaments. Okay, so you can see we've got all these brush marks there now, as we've just put it on anyway, just gently. I'm just going to take it across. Leave it there, pull it back, and then feather it like that. Pull it across. Don't start from the middle because you get this effect. Okay, and that's what we call a toe mark. Okay, so again, just very, very gently. Get into these little grooves. I'm not filling this yet, again, because it's going to highlight all the areas that does require filling. And if I was to fill, say this, there's a crack down there, if I was to fill that before I primed it, it's just going to take the moisture out of the filler and it'll just crack anyway. So it's best to get a coat of paint on it first. Okay, and then just do this bottom edge. And then we'll just do this top section just so for a demonstration. Now this is where your technique of cutting in really does come into play. Okay, so slide your brush along first. Again, I'll do it slowly for you. That's going to allow our brush to slide along. Not with this part, so we're going to use all of the brush. Okay, right. Bounce your bristles. Pull it towards it. So see that build up I've got there, just pull that out like this. Excess out, there's probably a little bit too much on there. Now the important part. Gently with your brush, just put hardly any pressure. It's drying really quickly. Perfect. Right, I'm just going to keep an eye on where these runners have come and just carry on and do the rest of it.